In the headlines at the White House, a sharp reset as President Trump and Colombia's Gustavo Petro signal new cooperation after high-stakes talks focused on counter-narcotics and possible sanction relief. In Dubai, Spain's Pedro Sanchez blasts big tech, calling Platform X a failed state and pledging to ban social media access for minors under 16. In the Middle East, Israeli jets strikes targets in southern Lebanon. Israel says Hezbollah sites were hit in Kafar Tibnit and Ain Qana, raising fears the 2024 ceasefire is fraying. In eastern China, at least 5 killed after a section of an unfinished bridge collapses in Jiangsu province, triggering a major rescue operation in Yancheng. Back in the Philippines, the DILG declares the murder case of Officer Dayan Marie Molinido and her son closed, with 4 suspects now in custody. In sports, the Court of Arbitration for Sport rejects U.S. skeleton racer Katie Eulander's Olympic appeal, ending her Milano Cortina bid. And finally, Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime shows divides the NFL, with the surveys showing a strong support and significant pushback. I'm Andrea Santos. Newsline World starts now. First in the news, in a remarkable turnaround for U.S.-Colombian relations, President Donald Trump and Gustavo Petro concluded a crunch meeting in the Oval Office on Tuesday. Once bitter adversaries who exchanged personal insults, the two leaders announced progress on counter-narcotics efforts and the potential lifting of sanctions, marking a new chapter of cooperation in the Americas. Jane Cunita has the details.
The handshake on the Oval Office on Tuesday was one many thought would never happen. Presidents Donald Trump and Gustavo Petro sat side by side, moving past a year defined by public vitriol and diplomatic threats. After the meeting, Petro restated his fierce commitment to dismantling narco-terrorist networks, reminding the international press that his political career was built on fighting the very greed that fueled Colombia's drug gangs.
35% del Senado de la República en la cárcel por mis debates, por sus nexos con el narcoterrorismo. Es el poder político que se entregó a la codicia y nosotros estamos rescatándola, porque una Colombia en paz es una Colombia que prime la belleza y no la codicia.
The shift in tone was even more pronounced from President Trump. Having previously called Petro a thug and a sick man, Trump emerged from the meeting praising his Colombian counterpart. He confirmed that the two are now actively working on some other things, including the possible easing of U.S. sanctions that had previously crippled Colombian state interests.
I thought he was terrific. He was very good. We got along. And we had a very good meeting.
The meeting also touched on the broader regional landscape, specifically Venezuela. In a surprising revelation, Trump noted that the U.S. is getting along very well with the new leadership in Caracas, confirming that 50 million barrels of oil are currently en route to Houston. Petro, who had been a vocal critic of the U.S. intervention in Venezuela, appears to have found common ground with Trump on regional energy stability and fighting guerrilla groups. As Petro left Washington with his family, the atmosphere of war, Colombia in peace over the domestic and regional frictions that once threatened to tear the bilateral relationship apart. This has been Jane.
Sanchez has launched a scathing attack against social media giants at the World Government Summit in Dubai, calling platforms like X a failed state. Sanchez announced a suite of radical measures, including a nationwide ban for minors, while directly targeting Elon Musk over the tech billionaire's criticism of Spain's recent migrant amnesty. Carlo de la Peña has more.
Minister of Spain for almost.
In the high-tech halls of the World Government Summit, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez traded diplomatic niceties for a full-scale declaration of digital war. Sanchez used his keynote address to paint a grim picture of the internet. This
are ignored and crime is endured. where disinformation is worth more than truth, and half of users suffer hate speech.
This speech turned personal as Sanchez called out the owner of X, Elon Musk. Sanchez criticized Musk, whom he pointedly referred to as a migrant himself, for using his personal account to attack Spain's sovereign decision to regularize 500,000 undocumented workers. Musk has previously labeled the move electoral engineering. Sanchez fired.
Veselin Catarong tells us more.
Serving as chair of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations are
Social media for minors under the age of 16.
To back his rhetoric, Sanchez unveiled a 5-point plan to be implemented starting next week. While Musk has denounced such measures as censorship and an attack on free speech, Sanchez insists that the era of hiding behind code is over. As Spain joins a coalition of the digital willing with 5 other European nations, the stage is set for a historic clash between national sovereignty and the borderless power of Silicon Valley. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Carlo de la Peña, SMNI News.
Meanwhile, the Department of Social Welfare and Development has begun preparations for the upcoming ASEAN assumes this year's ASEAN chairmanship. Veselin Catarong tells us more.
serving as chair of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, RC is working to ensure the smooth and meaningful conduct of high-level discussions and related activities aimed at strengthening cooperation and solidarity among ASEAN member states. She noted that the DSWD's ASCC's chairmanship will be guided by the theme Rise ASEAN, which outlines 4 key priorities: resilient and empowered families, inclusive development, smart youth and innovation, an environmentally sustainable and food-secure future. According to Dumlao, the department aims to translate these priorities into concrete actions that bring ASEAN initiatives closer to the people, particularly families, youth, and vulnerable and marginalized sectors. The DSWD will host the 40th Senior Officials Committee for the ASCC and the 35th ASCC Council meeting from March 2 to 5 in Makati City. These meetings will be chaired by DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian as the current ASCC chair. Ministers and senior officials representing the ASCC pillar from all 11 ASEAN member states will also attend the gathering. The ASCC, or ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community, is one of ASEAN's 3 community pillars, focusing on the development of human, cultural, and natural resources to achieve a harmonious, sustainable, and people-centered ASEAN. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Creseline Catarong, SMNI News.
Up next, in the Middle East, Israeli jet strikes target.
24. Habang wala pang deklarasyon, patuloy ang DOH sa mga sumusunod na hakbang: HIV testing, libreng gamot, self-test kits, at pakikipagtulungan sa DepEd para sa edukasyon sa mga paaralan. Isinulong rin ng DOH ang online patient appointment system para sa HIV patients. Layunin nitong gawing mas madali at mas personal ang pag-access sa libreng gamutan at konsultasyon. Ayon sa schedule ng pasyente, ang HIV ay hindi tulad ng flu. Hindi ito basta naipapasa sa hangin. Ito ay naipapasa sa pamamagitan ng personal na desisyon. Kailangan din nating pagtuunan ng pansin ang ugali, disiplina, at personal na responsibilidad. Isang paalala mula sa SMNI.
How to receive God's favor. So, for us, in order to receive the favor of God, we must avoid a holier than thou attitude. Importante sa harap ng ating Panginoon na tayo ay may kababaan ng loob na huwag nating tingnan at mapagmataas tayo sa ating mga sarili. Isaiah chapter 57 verse 15. For thus saith the high and lofty one that inhabiteth eternity, whose name is holy. I dwell in the high and holy place, with him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble and to revive the heart of the contrite ones. Bilang mga anak ng Diyos na tunay, upang tayo ay kasihan ng kanyang pabor, kailangan tayo ay hindi lamang mapagpakumbaba, kundi tayo ay mapagpatawad. If you want to seek the favor of God, be forgiving in your heart. So that when you pray and lift up holy hands to heaven, the Lord of heaven will also forgive your trespasses. May pabor ka na sa Diyos pagka ikaw ay dumadalangin na pinatawad mo ang kasalanan. In order to receive the favor of God, we must be humble. We must be forgiving. And we should not judge. And then, if you want to have favor with God, you must love God and obey God's words at all times. Ang aklat na ito ng kautusan ay huwag, at kung magkagayoy, magtatamo ka ng mabuting kawakasan. Magkakaroon ka ng pabor sa harap ng ating Panginoon. Mahalin ang kanyang mga banal na salita, ipamuhay ang kanyang banal na salita, sundin ang kanyang banal na salita, huwag hihiwalay ang kanyang banal na salita sa ating bibig araw at gabi. Pagbubulayan natin yan araw at gabi. Bago kayo magtrabaho sa umaga, pagkagising ninyo, kumuha muna kayo ng mga salita ng Diyos. Magbasa kayo, mag-devotional kayo. Basahin ang salita ng Diyos. Mahalin ang salita ng Diyos. Huwag ilagay ang Biblia at patungan ng anumang klaseng libro. Kailangan yan ay nasa ibabaw ng lahat ng libro.
Children will grow up and bring the joy, the love, the peace, and compassion to the whole world. We only have one planet. We only have one Earth. And I hope that this new generation of children that we have reached out will become millions and billions and bring peace on Earth. Bring peace to humanity.
we're back. Tensions have flared once again in southern Lebanon as Israeli warplanes carried out targeted strikes on residential buildings in the villages of Kafar Tibit and Ain Kana. The attacks, which Israel claims targeted Hezbollah infrastructure, come despite a ceasefire agreement signed in late 2024, raising fresh concerns over the fragility of peace in the region. Joy Tabanao has the news.
Skyline of southern Lebanon was once again marred by columns of black smoke. On Tuesday, Israeli warplanes struck a building in the village of Kafar Tibet, followed shortly by another strike in Ain Kana. The raids occurred roughly 40 minutes after the Israeli military issued urgent evacuation warnings via social media, accusing Hezbollah of attempting to rebuild military infrastructure in these civilian areas. Residents and rescue teams were left to sift through the charred remains of what the IDF calls terrorist hubs, or what locals call their homes. While no casualties were reported in these specific building strikes, the day was far from bloodless. Earlier on Monday, an Israeli drone strike on a vehicle in Ansarieh killed one person and wounded 4 others. The IDF identified the victim as a Hezbollah field commander involved in violating the ceasefire. Another strike in a Tyre district left 4 more people injured, bringing the day's toll to at least 1 dead and 8 wounded. Since the truce took effect on November 27, 2024, the situation has remained precarious. Lebanese officials have recorded thousands of airspace breaches, while Israel maintains that its intermittent strikes are necessary to prevent Hezbollah from regrouping. More than 360 people have reportedly been killed by Israeli fire since the ceasefire begun, as bulldozers cleared the rubble in Ain Kana. The Oversight Committee tasked with monitoring the truce faces mounting pressure, with both sides accusing the other of prohibited attempts and brutal aggression. The path to a lasting peace remains obstructed by the very debris of the conflict it was meant to end. Joy Tabanao, your citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline Broad.
At least 5 people are feared dead after a bridge collapsed in eastern China, triggering a large-scale rescue operation as emergency crews rushed to the scene amid freezing conditions. Elmar Forsuelo reports.
A deadly accident at a bridge construction site in eastern China has left 5 workers dead after authorities confirmed the recovery of 3 missing bodies on Tuesday morning. The collapse happened at a major bridge project in Jiangsu province, triggering an immediate emergency response. Residents say emergency responders quickly sealed off the area as rescue efforts began.
民警这来，又有人车长、局队长，整个都来，现在各地呢，这个路上整个云好了又准了，他就过来，局的。
According to villagers, rescue teams continue to work under difficult conditions as temperatures drop.
现在这个打落队啊，这个天这么冷啊，他们很辛苦啊，一直在打落支援的，感谢他们了。这个我们老百姓还是很承担的。
Authorities have not released further details on the cause of the collapse. An investigation is now underway while safety checks are being carried out at the site. Local officials say work at the construction area has been suspended as the probe continues. Reporting for Newsline World, Elmar Forsuelo, SMNA News.
Meanwhile, Tourism Secretary Maria Cristina Frasco recently faced intense scrutiny during a hearing of the Senate Committee on Tourism regarding the prominent use of her image in government promotional materials. Senator Raffy Tulfo directly confronted the secretary, arguing that the department's campaigns currently resemble personal vlogs rather than professional efforts to sell Philippine destinations. Troy Gomez has the details.
The Senate Committee on Tourism hearing turned into a debate over marketing styles as Senator Raffy Tulfo criticized the Department of Tourism's recent materials. Tulfo argued that the abundance of images featuring Secretary Frasco makes the campaign look more like personal vlogs than professional efforts to promote the Philippines. Tulfo questioned why the Secretary's face frequently appears in tourism promotions, arguing that the materials look more like personal vlogs than campaigns selling Philippine destinations. The images have since become memes and trended on social media. Among those circulated online are photos of Frasco featuring in a magazine in Japan, on a welcome sign at an airport in Boracay, and in a photo shoot promoting Lake Cebu in South Cotabato.
Sa halip na dapat ipapakita natin yung underground river, the 8 wonders of the world, yun, Tabon Cave, etc. Ang pinakita doon, kayo po, at saka yung mga groundbreaking ceremony, which will not sell.
Secretary Frasco defended herself, saying neither she nor the Department of Tourism had any involvement in the Japanese magazine. She maintained that her image was used without her consent.
I did not pay for that magazine. No government funds were used for that magazine, and my consent was never obtained in the use of my image.
But Senator Tulfo was not satisfied with the explanation.
So para makabawi sila, bakit hindi nyo lang po kontakin ulit sila this time around with your authorization na mag-publish tayo ng mga magagandang tanawin sa Pilipinas, who we are, and what are the places that they can go.
Tulfo stressed that tourism promotional materials should highlight destinations, local cuisine, and adventure tourism, not the Secretary's face or her groundbreaking activities, which he said do not attract tourists.
What I'm saying is, yung presence mo doon, yung sa picture na yan, it doesn't fit in sa taste ng mga Pilipino na nakakita po niyan. Kaya nga po binabash po kayo. Ang dating daw sa kanila, parang pinopromote mo yung sarili mo versus dapat yung Pilipinas ang pinopromote mo o yung mga probinsya ang pinopromote mo versus you're promoting yourself. Yun po yung dating sa mga tao.
In response, Secretary Frasco firmly asserted that her presence in destinations and promotional materials is part of her mandate as Tourism Secretary.
I have tried to be as present as possible in our destinations and for our stakeholders. That is the extent of the duty that I have exercised and nothing more.
Reporting for Newsline World, Troy Gomez, SMNI News.
When we return, in the Philippines, the DILG declares the murder case of Officer Dayan Marie Malinedo and her son closed, with 4 suspects now in custody. More news after the break.
Upang makatipid sa kuryente. Tanggalin sa saksakan ang mga appliances kung hindi.
Hoy, magnanakaw! Tingnan! Pulis ka! Hala, magnanakaw!
Magnanakaw! Magnanakaw!
Magnanakaw!
Magnanakaw! Magnanakaw!
Ano kayang gagawin ko? Ipamimigay ko yung konti para tumigil sila sa pag-iingay.
Pare, magnanakaw, namimigay ng pera.
Ito ang sayo.
Wow! Ang bait ng magnanakaw!
Ito naman sayo.
Kuya, yung
eto
share ko!
Huwag ka nang maingay. Eto pa. Tama na yan. Nakikipalato lang kayo eh. Huwag nang maingay. Diba? Konti lang pinamigay ko, mabait na ako. Tahimik na sila, easy. Ngayon, pwede ko na tong suluhin.
Masaya ang mga tao, pero tama po ba ito? Di po ba ang nakikinabang sa magnanakaw ay kasabwat ng magnanakaw?
Ikaw, kinukonsenti mo ba ang legal na korupsyon?
Ikaw ba ay namomroblema sa taas ng electric bill buwan-buwan? Huwag mag-alala, narito ang ilang paraan upang makatipid sa kuryente. Patayin ang mga ilaw at appliances kapag hindi ginagamit. Sa halip ay gumamit ng natural na liwanag upang makatipid sa kuryente. Tanggalin sa saksakan ang mga appliances kung hindi ginagamit. Regular na linisin ang mga appliances tulad ng electric fan, aircon vents at refrigerator. Magkaroon ng takdang araw sa isang linggo sa pamamalansya at paglalaba. Gumamit ng energy-efficient appliances. Tandaan, maging wais sa paggamit ng kuryente upang makatipid para mas gumaan ang buhay. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
Isang pindot lang, pwede kang maka-jackpot. Mukhang masaya at easy money lang. Sa murang halaga, pwede ka na tumaya sa online gambling at e-casino apps. Mayroong sabong, slot machines, mahjong, poker at iba pa. Kailangan mo lang ng smartphone, e-wallet at internet. Pero ang aliw na ito, unti-unting nagiging bitag para sa mga Pilipino. Lalo na kung ang paborito mong artista o influencer ang mukha ng app. Mas madaling makaengganyo, diba? Parang safe naman kasi may kilalang mukha. Pero sa likod ng ngiti, sugal pa rin ang itinutulak. At syempre, mas madali ring itago ang pagkalulong sa bisyong ito. Walang pisikal na kasino o pasugalan, walang kaharap, walang accountability, kaya't mas lumalala ang adiksyon. Dagdag pa rito, maraming online gambling apps at walang regulasyon. Sa likod ng mga makukulay na interface at papremyo, nakatago ang problemang bumabalot ngayon sa bansa. Ang pagkalulong ng maraming Pilipino sa online gambling. Pwede maglaro kahit saan, kahit kailan, kahit sino, bata man o matanda, pwedeng malulong. Ayon sa mga eksperto, ang pagkakalulong sa online gambling ay nagdudulot ng matinding stress at anxiety, pagkakabaon sa utang, pagkawasak ng pamilya, pagkawala ng tiwala sa sarili. At tulad ng ibang bisyo, may mga senyales ito tulad ng hindi makapagpigil kahit walang pera, palihim na tumataya, pagpapabaya sa trabaho, pamilya o sarili. Sa bawat taya, may mga taong tunay na kumikita, mga malalaking negosyante at investors na negosyo ang bisyo ng masa. Para sa kanila, perang pumapasok lang ito. Pero para sa ordinaryong Pilipino, kabuhayan at relasyon ang nauubos. At ang masakit, tila matagal itong nahayaan. Hindi ito naging prioridad ng mga nakaupo sa taas hanggang sa sobrang lumala at halos naapektuhan na ang buong komunidad. Ngayon, sa dami ng nalulung at sa laki ng pinsalang naidulot, sa kapalalong umugong ang mga panukalang batas para higpitan ng online gambling, gaya ng pagbabawal sa paggamit ng e-wallets para tumaya, pagtaas ng minimum bet, mas mahigpit na identity verification, pag-block ng mga illegal na gambling sites, at bawasan o ipagbawal ang mga ads na target ang kabataan. Maaari itong magmukhang laro lang, pero sa katotohanan, isa itong sugal sa kinabukasan. Ang kita na dapat sa mga pangunahing pangangailangan o ipon na uubos sa sugal. At sa mundo ng online gambling, mas madali kang matalo kaysa manalo. Huwag hayaang sugal ang magdikta sa iyong buhay. Isang paalala mula sa SMNI.
And we're back. The Department of the Interior and Local Government says the case involving the killing of Police Senior Master Sergeant Dayan Marie Mollinedo and her son is now closed after the principal suspects surrendered and were arrested. Almar Fosuelo tells us more.
Police Senior Master Sergeant Dayan Marie Mollinedo and her 8-year-old son, John Ismael Mollinedo, were last seen alive on January 16 in Quezon City before they were reported missing on January 19. 8 days later, on January 24, Dayan's body wrapped in black garbage bag was found in a creek along a bypass road in Pulilan, Bulacan. On January 29, the remains of John Ismael were recovered at a calamansi farm in Barangay Maluid, Victoria, Tarlac. Based on the investigation, the victims were allegedly scammed while attempting to purchase a vehicle from the suspects.
Parang pinag-interesan yung 450,000 na presyo ng Innova na binibenta. Nabili na kasi, bibigyan niya yung pera kay Dayan, hindi na binigay. Imbes ibigay sa kanya yung pera, binulil na lang siya.
4 principal suspects are now in police custody, including the Panganiban couple, who were identified as wedding godchildren of the victim. According to the PNP, the crime took place inside the Panganiban residence in Novaliches, where the suspects even wrapped the sofa in plastic to conceal the blood stains.
Sa bahay pala ni Panganiban, ay pinatay si Dayan Marie Molinido sa pamamagitan ng gunshot wound na pumasok dito sa ulo at lumabas habang siya ay nakaupo at lumabas po sa kanyang pigi.
Investigators also revealed a chilling detail. The suspects allegedly brought along their 3 young children in the vehicle while the bodies of Dayan and her son were in the back as they disposed of them in separate provinces.
Kasama nila yung mga anak nila sa kotse habang yung labi ni Dayan Molinido at kanyang anak ay nasa likod na nakabalot. Merong psychopathic criminal tendencies talaga kasi walang konsensya eh. Paano mo madadali yung anak mo sa participation of the crime? Diba? Anong klaseng utak ka na meron? Anong klaseng puso ka na meron? Na pati anak mo, sasama mo sa disposal and sa prosecution of the crime. Doon kami nagulat lahat eh. Pati anak kasama. They were at the scene of the crime.
Quezon City Police District Director Police Colonel Randy Glenn Silvio said the crime was premeditated.
Naikwento doon 15 pa lang, parang meron ng mga biniling garbage bag at kinabera na yung supa. Ibig sabihin, nagpaplano na sila.
Colonel Silvio added that Pia Panganiban allegedly ordered that the child be included in the killing.
According to Hildy, ang plano sana ni Christian ay papuntahin lang sa iligaw yung bata sa balik doon. Kaya lang ang nasusunod, ang gusto ni Pia, sama na kasi makikilala sa tingnan.
Although the case is closed, the victim's husband, Police Senior Master Sergeant John Molinido, remains under restrictive custody as a person of interest.
Ayon sa aming investigasyon, considered case closed na to at charges will be filed. Isa na lang po ang titignan namin yung anggulo ng asawa ni Dayan na si John Molinido. At nung tinatanong yung John kung anong involvement niya, wala siyang remorse. Hindi umiiyak, hindi malungkot, asawa at anak ang pinatay.
The principal suspects will face charges of robbery with homicide. For God and my beloved Philippines, Almar Forzuelo, SMNI News.
In other news, the Department of Social Welfare and Development has once again warned the public following the increasing number of reports about fake cash and messages circulating through text messages and social media. Joy Tabanao is back for more news.
More and more Filipinos are falling victim to a scheme in which the name and logo of the DSWD are being used to deceive the public, according to the agency. The fake messages are being spread via text messages and Facebook Messenger, where scammers promise financial assistance ranging from 6,500 pesos to 8,500 pesos. In exchange, victims are asked to provide their full name, contact number, and home address for their supposed inclusion in one of the agency's programs. The DSWD also warned that in some cases, victims are asked to grant access to their GCash account, allowing scammers to withdraw money from their targets. DSWD spokesperson and Assistant Secretary Irene Dumlao said the messages are fake and unauthorized by the agency. She emphasized that the DSWD does not randomly select beneficiaries through text messages or private chats, nor does it ask the public to provide sensitive information such as addresses, phone numbers, or one-time passwords to receive assistance. Dumlao also stressed that assistance programs such as Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situations or AICS and the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program or 4Ps follow a clear process and are implemented only by the DSWD social workers and authorized personnel. The agency urged the public to remain vigilant and to ensure that announcements come only from the DSWD's official and verified channels. She further reminded the public that if an offer sounds too easy or asks for sensitive information, it is already a red flag. The public was also advised to verify information through the DSWD's official website and Facebook page. Joy Tabanao, your citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline World.
What would you do if someone launched themselves onto the floor in apology? Well, a Japanese volleyball player has captured millions of hearts online after his dramatic apology went viral, setting a whole new standard. Stella Maris has the story.
A video of Japanese volleyball star Yuji Nishida has taken the internet by storm after his heartfelt and theatrical apology during an all-star event in Kobe, Japan, went viral. The 26-year-old captain of the Osaka Bluton was participating in a halftime serving challenge at the SV League All-Star Games when his powerful left-handed serve veered off course and struck a female courtside official or staff member. Rather than simply saying sorry, Nishida launched himself toward her, sliding face down across the court in a dramatic gesture that quickly captured global attention. Spectators laughed and applauded as he continued to kneel and bow repeatedly in a traditional form of apology reminiscent of Dogaza, a deep show of remorse and respect in Japanese culture. The official was unharmed and even bowed back with a smile, bringing the moment to a warm conclusion. Clips of the encounter have since garnered millions of views on social media, with fans praising Nishida's sincerity and humor. Despite the ensuing spectacle, Nishida's strong performance continued. He helped his team to a 3-0 victory and was later named most valuable player of the event. Nishida's apology came across as deeply sincere, especially given his status in Japan as a captain of Osaka Bluton. He is one of the country's top volleyball players with experience in Japan's V-League, international play in Italy, and appearances for the Japanese national team on the Olympic stage. Viewers around the world reacted with admiration and amusement, with many calling the apology one of the most memorable viral moments in recent sports culture. This has been Stella Maris, your citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline World.
After the break in sports, the Court of Arbitration for Sport rejects U.S. skeleton racer Katie Eulander's Olympic appeal, ending her Milano Cortina bid. And finally, Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show divides the NFL with a survey showing strong support and significant pushback. We'll be back after the break.
In 2005, Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy founded the Sunshine Philippines movement. A mission rooted in love for nature and nation. It began as an environmental and humanitarian initiative to reforest Mount Apo, once barren, now a thriving and beautiful place. Through his initiative, thousands of trees have been planted across the Philippines, bringing life and hope to communities. His advocacy, One Tree, One Nation, is also a movement that calls for unity in preserving the environment. Because every tree planted is a step towards unity, healing, and a greater future. Join One Tree, One Nation.
massive fire tore through a market in Tehran, Iran, destroying hundreds of stalls and leaving vendors facing heavy losses. Kai Velan reports.
A massive fire has engulfed a market in Tehran, Iran, prompting a large-scale emergency response from local authorities. Local residents and shop owners described the scene as chaotic, with thick smoke and the sound of small explosions, sending many fleeing the area. Many vendors are now facing uncertainty over the loss of goods and potential income as insurance coverage for small market stalls remains limited. Firefighters rushed to control the blaze, and they are still monitoring the site to ensure the blaze does not reignite, while authorities assess the full extent of damage to the market and surrounding areas.
در حال حاضر 10 ایستگاه آتش نشانی به همراه چند دستگاه خودروهای پشتیبانی شامل بالابر، نردبان، تانکر آب، خودروی تنفسی و فوماتیک خودروی کاملا تخصصی هست به محل اعزام میشن. در کمتر از 7 دقیقه نیروهای ما به محل میرسن. زمانی که میرسن این بازارچه به وسعت حدود 2000 متر که میگن حدود 200 تا غرفه کوچیک و بزرگ توش داشته با انواع مواد که غالبا هم خودشون میگن بیشتر پوشاک بوده، اما صداهای انفجار کوچک و بزرگی میشنویم به خاطر کپسول ها و اسپری ها و سیلندرهایی که داخل همین مرکز نگهداری میشده تو غرفه هایی که وجود داشته.
Authorities have urged the public to avoid the area while investigations continue and have pledged to provide support to affected shop owners in the coming days. Reporting for Newsline World, Kai Vilan, SM9 News.
As immigration debates continue in the United States, former actress Jewel Mish shared her personal story of nearly being deported under Donald Trump's first term. Meanwhile, Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny's upcoming Super Bowl halftime performance has sparked debate among NFL players, highlighting the polarizing nature of the artist across the United States. Blake Ann has all the buzz.
Former actress Jewel Mish has spoken about her experience of nearly being deported during Donald Trump's first term in office, as immigration once again becomes a contentious issue in the United States. Now based in the U.S., Mish said her immigration case unfolded at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, a period she described as especially difficult as she was caring for a newborn and a toddler at that time. She recalled facing prolonged uncertainty over her immigration status, saying the situation took a heavy emotional toll on her and her family. Mish's account comes amid renewed debate over immigration policy, with advocates highlighting the human impact of enforcement actions on migrant families. NFL players have weighed in on this year's Super Bowl halftime show, sharing mixed reaction to Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny's upcoming performance. The artist, whose real name is Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, is set to take the stage at Levi's Stadium in San Francisco this Sunday as part of the league's season finale. Despite his widespread popularity, Bad Bunny's selection has sparked debate, with some players expressing enthusiasm, while others remain skeptical about the choice. Fans and critics alike say the controversy mirrors the wider divisive conversation surrounding the rapper throughout the United States. As the Super Bowl draws near, anticipation continues to build over how the halftime show will unfold and whether Bad Bunny's performance will win over skeptics on and off the field. And that's all for now. I'm Blake Ann, bringing you the latest showbiz.
In cricket, Australian fast bowler Josh Hazlewood is expected to miss the opening stages of the T20 World Cup as he continues to recover from injury. Meanwhile, in Olympic, the Court of Arbitration for Sport has rejected the appeal of American skeleton racer Katie Eulander regarding her bid to qualify for the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Games. Carlo De La Peña tells us more.
With Australia preparing for the start of its T20 World Cup campaign, Hazlewood's ability remains uncertain. The veteran pacer has not played since November after dealing with a hamstring strain and later suffering an Achilles injury during rehabilitation, forcing him to miss the entire Ashes series. Although head coach Andrew McDonald earlier said Hazlewood was on track to return, teammate Pat Cummins now believes he may only be available midway through the tournament. Cummins said Hazelwood has experienced multiple setbacks but continues to work hard in his recovery. As a precaution, bowling all-rounder Sean Abbott has been added to the squad as a traveling reserve. Australia opens its campaign against Ireland on February 11th, with the Super 8 beginning on February 21. Meanwhile, with Olympic qualification rules already set and the Milano Cortina Games approaching, the Court of Arbitration for Sport ruled that it has no authority to intervene in the case. Eulander sought full ranking points from a January 11 race in Lake Placid, arguing that late withdrawals by Canadian competitors reduced the field and hurt her Olympic qualification chances. However, CAS said the dispute fell outside the time window covered by its ad hoc division for the Milano Cortina Games, which only handles cases arising shortly before or during the Olympics. The tribunal noted that the issue was already finalized on January 23, following a ruling by the International Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation, placing it beyond CAS jurisdiction. As a result, the appeal was dismissed without reviewing its merits, leaving the skeleton Olympic qualification system unchanged. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Carlo de la Peña bringing you the latest sports news.
Meanwhile, Works and Highways Secretary Vince Dizon has announced a major shift in strategy for the rehabilitation of the Maharlika Highway, moving away from small-scale contractors in favor of the country's largest construction firms. Jane Cunita reports.
Following a series of inspections by the Department of Public Works and Highways o DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon in Quezon, Bicol and Samar, he personally witnessed the decades of neglect plaguing the Maharlika Highway. Dizon described the journey as a visceral encounter with infrastructure decay, a bump-a-thon highway that was literally painful for the back. In Samar, Dizon found stretches of the highway with road damage, bumps and muddy areas, making travel difficult. Because of this, Dizon ordered the suspension of all minor repair projects to make way for a comprehensive 2-year rehabilitation plan for the Maharlika Highway. In line with this, Dizon met with the country's largest contractors.
Pero I spoke to them. I want to meet them in maybe this week or next week, and they have expressed interest to help out in the major projects, the highest priority of which is the Maharlika.
This move aims to ensure faster and higher quality rehabilitation of the Maharlika Highway. The Maharlika Highway connects Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, making it an economic backbone of the country. With the help of Japanese consultants, Dizon said a large portion of the rehabilitation is targeted to be completed before the end of 2027. Meanwhile, Dizon stressed the importance of public participation amid the ongoing flood control scandal. The secretary also urged the public to actively report stalled substandard or ghost projects.
Ang problema po, DPWH really does not have the institutional capacity to monitor everything. And alam niyo naman po, no? Marami pa rin pong mga masasamang tinapay sa loob ng DPWH, no? So we really need the help of the church, the diocese, the civil society groups in the local areas to really help us monitor.
This has been Jane Cunita, your citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy was formally conferred the Ministry Service Recognition Award and named Youth Advocate of the Year during the Mindanao People's Choice Award 2026 held in the Coronadal City. The recognition highlights his dedication to public service and his role in shaping the next generation of leaders. Here are the details from Jean Domingo.
Dito sa Coronadal City, nakatanggap ng pagkilala si Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy mula sa Mindanao People's Choice Awards para sa kanyang walang sawang malasakit sa mga kabataan at sambayan ng Pilipino na isa lamang sa kanyang mga advokasiyang ramdam, hindi lamang sa Pilipinas, kundi sa buong mundo.
The Mindanao People's Choice Awards began as an initiative to honor individuals who have made direct contributions to the progress and development of Mindanao.
emosyon. Siyempre, nandyan yung excitement, yung pride, tsaka yung sobrang happiness din dahil yung mga pinaghirapan noong araw ay nagkaroon ng ganitong activity na nagkaroon ng pagkakataon para ma-recognize dahil dito sa isa ako sa napasali dito sa nabigyan ng recognition or award.
Well, I'm very happy ma'am kasi unang-una po, hindi po tayo Muslim, no? Pero nare-recognize po yung ating effort. So I'm very proud no, na makarating po dito sa Cotabato, dito sa Marbel, para po sa award na ito. Actually, this is my first time ma'am na makarating po sa Mindanao because of this award.
Ako po ay nagpapasalamat at nagagalak at naging isang awardee po ako ng Mindanao's People's Choice Award. And sukran to all and I am truly excited. Thank you.
Through the years, it has evolved into a significant institution that honors leaders across various sectors whose advocacies create a lasting impact on society.
Meron talaga may pagmamalaki ang people na Mindanao. Especially me, I'm proud coming here because most of the time, if you will hear from other places of the Philippines, they are from Mindanao, they are not qualified or they're not about to succeed, but they are wrong. There are lots of people in Mindanao who are capable to succeed in all aspects of life.
We honor individuals.
Siyempre alam naman natin lahat na halos lahat ng mga magagaling galing Mindanao. Kaya siguro na-create namin itong Mindanaoans para naman yung mga tahimik na gumagawa ng mga humanitarian services, gumagawa ng talagang galing sa puso nila, ma-recognize.
Youth Advocate of the Year. Congratulations to Reverend Dr. Pastor Apollo C. Buloy.
During the gathering held in Coronadal City, Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy was honored with the Ministry Service Recognition Award and the title of Youth Advocate of the Year, which was accepted by the KOJC Executive Minister on his behalf.
Pinapagput ko po ang pasasalamat ng aming mga Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy sa award-giving body of Mindanao People's Choice Award for recognizing his effort na ma-establish ang Keepers Club International. It was really his desire for nation building na makatulong in particular sa sektor ng mga kabataan para mapalayo sa masasamang dulot ng droga through youth and arts and leadership skills. Kaya again, sa lahat din ng mga awardees, maraming salamat po at patuloy natin mahalin ang ating nag-iisang Pilipinas. Mahalin natin ang Pilipinas.
Also recognized was Keepers Club International, which took home the award for Outstanding Youth Organization for Social Responsibility and Advocacy. In 2026, the institution emphasized the contributions of Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy, who is known not only as a spiritual leader across the globe, but also as a multi-awarded global leader, holding numerous academic degrees and prestigious recognitions both locally and abroad. For many decades, even before the arrival of plaques and trophies, the voice of Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy has served as a beacon to millions of lost souls in need of enlightenment in every corner of the world. Unknown to the public for many years, whether recognized or not, the core of Pastor Apollo's mission has been providing direct assistance to those in need. He has become a pillar for millions of children by providing free food, clothing, and quality education. He has also dedicated his own birthday as adopted birthdays for underprivileged children, not only in the Philippines, but throughout the world. Under his Gift of Education program and institutions such as Josemaria College, Foundation Incorporated, he provides opportunities for youth from underprivileged families to graduate and secure a bright future. Equally invaluable is his role in advocating for the rights of indigenous peoples, where he was adopted as Dato Tudlabon, and that to Pamulingan. This compassion extends to the environment through massive cleanup drives and tree planting initiatives. These efforts aim to turn idle lands into productive green havens. His organization is quick to provide sacks of rice, clean water, and millions of relief goods. This swift action reflects his vow to support the government's nation-building efforts and to uplift those on the fringes of society. Amidst various challenges, his public service initiatives remain unshaken. This recognition in Coronadal City is a testament that his efforts continue to inspire and bring hope to millions globally. Organizers noted that Pastor Apollo's dedication stands as a prime example of leadership committed to real transformation.
Pastor, pray, daming nagpre-pray sa'yo na sana mabigyan ka ng justice, mabigyan ng talagang yung sinasabi mo na siya na bahala lahat, gagawin yon, mag-o-open yung gate. Hindi lang dito sa Mindanao sa taga Cebu, yung Visayas, lalo na sa Maynila, ma-international pa nga. Kaya lahat ng mga natulungan ni Pastor Kibuloy, talagang believe ako dahil nandoon pa rin yung paniniwala na mabigyang hustisya ang mga nangyari sa kanya ngayon.
Despite various limitations, many believe and can attest that Pastor Apollo Kibuloy's achievements in the fields of public service, education, and disaster relief far exceed the typical accomplishments of those in official positions.
He is really very important. Pastor is very important, lalo na for nation building. Kasi he is the one molding us. Kung hindi po dahil kay Pastor, hindi po natin makikita kung ano po yung ginawa niya para sa mga youth. Napakalaki po ng kanyang contribution in terms of molding the young people na talagang yung kanilang leadership makatulong para sa ating bayan. May mga examples na mga kabataan na totoong maglilingkod para sa ating bayan dahil yun din po si Pastor. Ito yung reflection niya kung ano po ang ginawa niya sa mga young people na ito, ganun din po si Pastor. That is why, Pastor, thank you so much. We really love you, we miss you so much, and that one day we really hope to see you. And this is really all for you, Pastor. We are very proud of you. Thank you po, sir.
Yes, of course. Light is always a light, and goodness is always a goodness. It can never be overshadowed by darkness or anything. No? Mananatiling ang matuwid ay matuwid. Kaya ito'y nagpapatunay na ang ginagawa ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy ay liwanag na hindi pwedeng tabunan ng kadiliman. To the Mindanao People's Choice Award, thank you very much for recognizing the effort of our beloved pastor, Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Hindi ito inaasahan. Kasi nga wala siya rito, hindi man siya nakakasama physically. But as I said, goodness is always goodness, and light remains a light that cannot be overshadowed by darkness.
Whether there is formal recognition from the public or not, Pastor Apollo remains a fountain of enlightenment for millions of individuals worldwide. The award conferred upon him in Coronadal City serves as a reaffirmation of the depth of his influence, not only as a spiritual leader, but as a true public servant whose principles and advocacies remain unshakable and will continue both within the country and abroad.
Pilit pang pigilan, gaano man pahirapan, hindi nito mahahadlangan ang misyon ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, di lamang sa bawat kabataan, kundi sa bawat Pilipino. Yan ang pinakahuling ulat mula dito sa Coronadal City. Ako si Jean Domingo para sa Diyos at sa Pilipinas kong mahal.
And before we may end, may you be inspired with the words of the Son. As long as you are sincere in seeking for salvation, the Father will not lead you astray. And that's all for this edition of Newsline World. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I'm Andrea Santos. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.